Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Sincerely appreciate the welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget why we're here. We're here because democracy works. And we all know this, but for some strange reason, it's not accepted by a lot of the most highly educated people in the UK and the world. But just look at the success of a country like South Korea, which has become democratic over a few decades, one of the most successful countries in the world. And poor old North Korea, undemocratic, has really suffered. Look at how successful Japan became in a few decades once it became democratic and became the second biggest economy in the whole world. And look at North America, stunningly successful. So many people want to go and live there from undemocratic countries. And look at poor old South America, which has been dogged by problems because of its lack of democracy. So democracy is... Democracy, ladies and gentlemen, is where it's at, and it's amazing to have to be fighting for it in the UK now. But ladies and gentlemen, let's emphasize, we have no problem with the European people. They are our friends and our allies. But the EU is becoming more and more undemocratic, which is absurd. It's got 5 unelected presidents. It's got MEPs who can't even initiate legislation. And it's got a court which isn't accountable to any democratic parliament. So it's hard to believe that so many people in this country at the top of society aren't fighting to increase the level of democracy. But I'm afraid to say that they're not. They want it to become more integrated with an undemocratic institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, they know they won't win the argument based on democracy. So that's why you've had Project Fear. So many people, the CBI, the Financial Times, the leaders of most political parties and most MPs urged us to join the exchange rate mechanism, the predecessor of the euro, and it collapsed. And then they wanted us to join the euro itself, and that was Project Fear 20 years ago. They said, if you don't join the euro, the manufacturers are going to leave the country and we're going to be much worse off than the countries on the continent. It didn't happen, did it? And they said if you vote leave in the referendum, that is vote leave, not leave, but vote leave, there will be a recession and we'll lose 1 million jobs by today. Instead of that, we've created 1 million jobs in the last 3 years. But ladies and gentlemen, the most toxic story of the moment, and it's very dangerous, is that we need a deal in order to leave the EU. It's very, very, very dangerous because it means, of course, as you know, that you can only leave on the terms that someone's willing to give you. So will they give you a good deal? What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is leave on WTO terms. That's how most of the world trades. Have you ever heard an Australian, in a moment of self-doubt, which is very rare for Australians, say, "Oh God, I wish I could join the euro"? Have you ever heard a New Zealand farmer, incredibly successful, wake up in the morning and instead of milking the cows say, "I wish we were part of the common agricultural policy"? Have you ever heard an American say, "We really wish we had your system. We elect our president, but we would much prefer to have someone appointed like Juncker"? The fact of the matter is, if we leave on WTO rules, Richard said it, we save 39 billion quid. That's a good start. We regain control of fishing. On the 1st of November, not years down the line if we agree some further deal, we get rid of tariffs. The absurd thing is that we pay tariffs on thousands of items which are imported from outside the EU. Children's clothes, children's shoes, bananas. There are people employed in the UK, I thought someone was joking when I read this, called banana weighers. And they weigh bananas, a tariff is charged on the bananas, and the money is sent where? The money is sent to Brussels. Rice, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, you name it, we save money. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want a deal. We don't need a deal. Project Fear is melting before our eyes. A while ago, you were frightened, or people tried to frighten you into thinking that planes wouldn't fly. And now, and one of the guys that did it was the guy who runs Ryanair. Now Ryanair say it is no longer an issue. I know you were worried, the planes will fly. It was the same story about fishing and a lot of other things. But one of the other stories which provoked Wetherspoons into taking some action was that the ports would be blocked. And a very good French guy, a very nice man called Monsieur Puissesseau, he said, "There will be no delays at Calais ports because arrangements have been made. So no block ports, and the planes will fly." So what we really need, ladies and gentlemen, are lots of little deals. It's a real danger for us and to get lawyers to draw up some overarching, huge 50,000-page deal that will control all our futures. We don't want that. We want Monsieur Puissesseau and whoever is in charge of the planes to organise their own deals. Wetherspoon alone, I won't keep you much longer than this, Wetherspoon alone said, "Okay, we don't believe this, but instead of buying French brandy and French champagne and German beer, we'll buy sparkling wine from the UK and from Australia." Sacrilegiously, we don't sell French brandy, which I actually feel sorry for the French suppliers, actually. We buy it from Australia and America. So everything you buy from the EU, you can buy from the rest of the world. So I'll close it up. We want to leave without a deal. That's my most important message. There's nothing to be frightened of. We'll do better. We'll be better off on day one by 39 billion, and it'll get better after that. But Richard has mentioned some ideas that the Brexit Party has for regenerating the economy or improving the economy. The economy's doing not badly, and one of them is to reform the business rate system. And one of the suggestions that Richard and his team are putting forward, having done a lot of consultation, is to get rid of business rates for retailers outside of London. And instead to have an internet levy which will match the business rates that are lost. And I think that that's fair, and something needs to be done to make it fair for retailers. So thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. No fear. Let's leave on the 31st of October, and let's make sure that we vote for the Brexit Party, because I'm afraid the other political parties are far too infested by people who don't believe properly in democracy. Thank you very much.
Isn't it great? Thank you so much, Tim. He is such a star. He really is. He's been a huge, huge supporter.